Hi, my name is Nate Bow, aka Nathan Bohatch. I grew up in a small town in Ohio, just across the Ohio River from Wheeling, West Virginia. Coincidentally, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania was the closest big city to me, being only an hour away. I spent a lot of time there and consider myself a Pittsburgh boy, or as the locals call it, a Yinzer. I grew up appreciating the rich jazz history that Pittsburgh had to offer. With my mom and aunt being music teachers, music has been a big part of my life for as long as I can remember. In middle school, I went to a very small school that had a very small high school. So that allowed me the opportunity to play in the high school marching band, starting at only 6th grade, on snare drum, which was a great learning experience. And from there, things just flourished. Unfortunately, the small school I went to didn't have much in the way of a music program, but did the best they could. So I did go to a different high school in the area that had more of a music program. I fell in love with jazz music in high school and knew it was something I wanted to pursue. I received my BFA in Jazz Studies from Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia. Go Herd! While at Marshall, I reached out to New York jazz vibraphonist and Juilliard professor Mark Sherman for supplementary lessons. Mark also taught at New Jersey City University, or NJCU. Mark recruited me to NJCU for my master's degree in jazz performance, where I served as a graduate assistant and worked closely with the head of the jazz program, Walt Weiskopf of Steely Dan. After receiving my master's degree, I went to work at a music store, where I met Fabian Barona as a coworker. Fabian is a composer, multi-instrumentalist, recording engineer, and producer, and many more things. I began working closely with Fabian to help develop my compositions and to get the sound I wanted from my music. With him coming from more of a pop sound and me coming from more of a jazz sound, when we worked together, things just kind of clicked and worked. It just creates something really special. I enjoy working with him as my producer, and we get along like brothers, which is pretty awesome. I also met the guitarist Brett Calder as a coworker at the music store. Brett is in my band and is also on the upcoming single, and is a solid guitarist. I met a lot of great people there for sure. The bassist on the upcoming single I actually met while in grad school. He was finishing his undergrad while I was getting my master's at NJCU. Anthony Bianco is a very talented bassist for sure. I chose the name Nate Bow for a multitude of reasons, one of which is because my legal last name is hard to spell phonetically, and hard to remember when I tell people to find me on social media after a show. I came up with Nate Bow because in high school the marching band would go play on the track during the fourth quarter of home football games and play in front of the student section. We did have a lot of drum cheers we played as well, which were a lot of fun to play of course, and had some stick tricks in it and some room for the drummers to show off. And my senior class in the student section would start chanting, "Nate Bow front row, Nate Bow front row." So I guess it just kind of stuck. Even when I moved to New Jersey, people started calling me Nate Bow, who had no knowledge of the story from high school. I guess it just comes naturally for people, and it is pretty easy to remember, easy to Google, and I think it just keeps things a little simpler. I have an upcoming single out soon, and I am also working on my first album, which I hope to release sometime later this fall. Stay tuned for more information on the new single and for the new album later this year. Please go to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, whatever you can think of. I'm probably on most platforms. My website is still nathanbohatch.com. I may be changing that in the future to natebow.com, but for the time being it is nathanbohatch.com. Go ahead and find me so you don't miss any of the latest updates. Thank you for listening, and that's just a little history on Nate Bow.